And welcome back. So, we don't have the official previews due to Labor Day, but we do have because apparently what they decided to do, particularly with mechanics and things along those lines, and I'll have my tea, my Rick and Morty glass, Mr. Meeseeks, while I'm doing this. What they apparently do is do a preview day the week prior, and then go into the actual spoilers and previews, things along those lines. Now, we had a card spoil previously to this, but I didn't want to, and they also talked about it on the site anyway, with their promos and the promotions and box art, which, you know what, I'll actually have that up just in case. That way I'll have that for reference, because it does have a couple other things on there that aren't spoiled. But they spoiled the card, Firemind's research, anyway, with it. So, made sense, just in case they had new cards today, which they did, to wait until today to talk about the new cards we got. So that's what we're doing. And I mean, we're going to talk about the first one that got spoiled as of yesterday. Well, it was technically, I think, late Sunday. Point being, is Firemind's Research is a rare enchantment, 1 red, 1 blue for an enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a charge counter on this card. You may pay 1 blue and 1 of any color to remove 2 charge counters and draw a card. You may pay 1 red and 1 of any color to remove 5 charge counters and deal 5 damage to any target. Now, someone by the way asked me, it was like, should 2 damage from shock is too much for you? Have you never played Modern? No, I've never played Modern because I don't play any of the real official format. I'm a tabletop player. I play in the limited events. That's about it. I played a rare stint of Commanders. That's really where my genre, limited, things along those lines. With this one, I want to like it. I do. I mean, this feels like something I could figure out, just wacky shenanigans with, being the fact that I have no restrictions on the cards I use. And I'm certain I could. But the problem is, I'll play 2 mana. Let's say earliest you get it out is on turn 2. You have maybe a creature there to protect you for 1 turn. Turn 2. It's not doing anything. Then I'm going to play a spell. Still not doing anything. But if I jumpstart it, then I got the 2 counters, then I got to wait another turn to draw a card. Now, if it's late game, that might be different. If anything, I see this card being more effective in the late game because you'll have more mana on hand. You can play it, play some spells, and immediately get the effects from that. But it's a lot to invest for minor effects. Card draw is very important in the game, but it's not something where, hey, I'm going to pay this, and then I'm going to draw 2. Then I'm going to pay this. Then I'm going to pay this. Let's just hypothetically use it on Summon as an example. I'm going to play an Unsummon. I got to play another Unsummon. And then I got to pay 4. I've got to pay 2. So I got to pay 4 altogether just for 1 turn to get 1 draw effect off of this. Or I got to wait a lot longer to get the charge counts. Honestly, I normally like cards like this, but this one's not. I'm not digging. I like the art, though. It's pretty solid art where Niv Mizzet is just like, I'm crazy and I'm doing experiments. It's his research. Fun note that Mark Rosar brought up about the story spotlight cards, which this is one. It's not going to be numbered, so it's going to take people a little bit longer to figure out the actual order of the story. It's because what he said was he didn't want people to just immediately understand where the story was going from the cards being spoiled before the story actually came out. He wanted to actually, keep it at least somewhat balanced. So, alright, I can understand that. Next one we have Unexplained Disappearance is 1 blue, 1 of any color. Return target creature to its owner's hand and survey 1. Survey obviously is the scribe, but for the graveyard. Either keep it on the top of your deck or put it in the graveyard. And it's a fine enough card. It's a bounce spell. It's got the survey 1, so it's good. Not much else I can say on that. Deathly Visit. 2 black, 3 of any color for sorcery. Destroy target creature and surveil 2. If it were an instant, this would probably be an uncommon. And it'd probably be better. Sorcery speed destruction is not bad. I mean, it's destruction. But it's you gotta wait 5 mana to do that. So you are going to be sitting. If this card's in your opening hand, you're just going to be sitting on dead weight for a little bit. That would darn wrong pipe. Otherwise, I mean, it's a solid card. It's got Survey 2 on there, so it's not a terrible card. It's not bad. It's just, it's slow. If it were instant speed, It would not be as slow. It would probably be a really good card, honestly. But as it is, it's just an okay card in my opinion. But then again, I'm not a black player, so maybe someone who is a black player sees like that card's awesome. What are you talking about? Maybe it is. Sonic Assault. 1 blue, 1 red, and 1 of any color for an instant. Tap target creature. Sonic Assault deals 2 damage to that creature's controller, and then you can jumpstart, essentially cast it for its mana cost and discard a card to play it from the grave. And it's got a Minotaur being accosted by sound waves. He heard stars and saw thunder. Wait, that's a solid card. It's gonna burn your opponent for a little bit of damage. Gonna tap down a creature, so it's gonna save you from an attack, basically. It's a solid card. Now, if it did the damage to the creature, that might be more effective, but then it would kind of negate the reason for the tapping. So I can see why it's designed the way it is. It's actually kind of a cool, funner little design than just burn the creature and then tap something out of the opponent or something like that. So I mean that's a fine card. I mean, I'll most likely when I get to the pre-release, I will be playing either Izzet or Selesnya. Those are the 2 color choices I've kind of chosen for myself. Is either green, white, because I very much enjoy green, but blue is also one of my bread and butter colors. Probably my bread and butter color is blue. So it's either going to be that or Izzet. Most likely Izzet because that's what I played the last time we had Return to Ravnica, and then I played Simic. Simic's my favorite color combination because it's my 2 favorite colors. Moonmark Painter. That's an interesting name, and she's painting stuff on his face. She's just painting. She's a 2 black, 2 of any color, so 4 mana, 2/3 human shaman with undergrowth. When this card enters the battlefield, target creature gains menace and gets +X/+O until the end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Seeing as both this and the Surveil cards are going to be seeing as Golgari is going to be prone to getting stuff in the graveyard regardless, and the Surveil cards at least overlap color-wise with Golgari, I can see something like anything with Overgrowth, Undergrowth. Anything with Undergrowth quickly becoming a problem for opponents. This card, for instance, I mean, even if you got, let's just say, because 2 is a reasonable amount of creatures to have in the grave, honestly. Particularly when you got a creature that costs 4, by the time you're getting that out, even if you get it out on turn 4, it's a good chance you could have at least 2 creatures in the grave. But when you're normally playing this, 2 creatures sounds fine. Let's just use a creature that, have we gotten? Oh, no, we actually haven't even gone over another creature. Let's just use a 2/2 on the battlefield, a standard bear on the battlefield as an example. This card comes out, immediately makes it a 4/4 that cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. So, hey, this card is, I don't sit on this card. This could be a sleeper common. I honestly believe that. Next we have Rosemane Centaur, who is 1 green, 1 white, and 3 of any color, so 5 mana for 4/4 Vigilance with Convoke. We know what Convoke does. And so for a creature with Convoke, and that's right, Convoke can tap for mana. Assuming, let's see, turn 5, and I'm trying to think of the best case scenario when you get this out. So if you get this out on turn 5 mana, but you're playing Selesnya already, so you probably have maybe a token or 2, or at least a creature. Let's say you have, again, 2 creatures, 2 small creatures, maybe 1 medium like a 2/3 and a 1/1. So right there, you're getting a 4/4 for 3 mana with Vigilance. That's value. Absolutely, that's value. And again, if you have enough creatures, you can just get honestly just get this thing out for free. So, yeah, and hey, it's a solid body, it's a solid ability. Even a 4/4 for 5 with Vigilance. Keep that in mind. Even a 4/4 for 5 with Vigilance is a solid card in its own right. It's not a bad card at all. So yeah, that's a good common. That's a good common card. The split cards also make a return, and the way they designed them this time is you'll have one that's just multicolor, 1 of each color, and then one that's the hybrid mana. So we have Status and Statue. I get it. Anyway, Status is the hybrid, which costs 1 black or green, and it's an instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 against death touch till the end of turn, or instead you can play Statue, which is 2 of any color, 1 red, 1 black, and 1 green. Destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Both of these are pretty solid. Both of them are instances. They do not have that fuse clause, though, like they did in Dragon Maid. So, again, like any other normal split card, you'll only be playing one or the other, not both. Unless for some reason, you had both. The mana for both. I mean, if you had 2 copies of this in your hand, you could play both, obviously. But I don't think I think because of the way they were designed, you could only ever play one, so you had to pick and choose. If I were to say which one I'd probably use more often, depending on, it all depends on my circumstance, but if I were to say which one I'd probably be more inclined to use more often, it would actually probably be the statue, because because unlike the status, which is a combat trick and isn't guaranteed to work, like if someone has first strike, like say a Boris creature or something like that, first strike or flying, and you don't have that, it's not going to matter. The statue will actually destroy a creature, and even if they don't have a creature, you can still destroy enchantments or artifacts. So honestly, I see the statue being more useful, even though it's 3 mana more expensive. But overall, I mean, they're both good abilities. Hammer Dropper is a giant soldier, 1 white, 1 red, 2 of any color, for a 5/2 giant with Mentor. Which bigger creatures with Mentor obviously actually have a better advantage, because Mentor, as it says, when this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter or target attacking creature with lower power. The bigger the creature, the more creatures with lower power you're going to be having. So, honestly, that's not a bad one. Now, obviously, its problem is its butt. It doesn't have a big butt. It's got a very low toughness. So, it might live a turn, maybe 2, unless you can pump the guy up, or at least give him a better defense. You're going to get maybe 1 or 2 attacks out of him at best, and that's assuming they don't blow him up, like, say, with a statue. But I like him. He's not terrible, but he's not great. He's just a solid common, I think. Barging Sergeant. Sorry, that's Sergeant. I believe that's Sergeant. Is it Serge? Yeah, Sergeant. 1 red, 1 red, 4 of any color for a 4/2 Minotaur Soldier. Haste with Mentor. That's actually going to be very important. Granted, it's 5 mana, so if it were 4 mana, it might be a little too haxed, because at that point you're now able to mentor immediately upon bringing this creature out. Hell, mentor him with the other guy with Mentor. See, Mentors can play. That's the thing with Mentor. Mentor can play off itself with other cards with Mentor. You play this guy with the Giant. They both attack. He can now Mentor that to make it bigger, making it a 5/3. He can now mentor other things, and yeah. So I mean, I like this simply because it's got the haste on there. I'm certain excuse me. I'm certain we'll see probably a couple other cards that also have haste and mentor, because it matters about attacking with Mentor. So haste is something that is a very powerful ability compiled with Mentor, as long as you got the creature on the field to interact with it. That's the only real downside of Mentor, is you need other creatures to interact with it. That's why I say bolster, I think, is slightly better, only because you didn't need other creatures. You could just bolster the one creature you had on the field. But that's my opinion. Direct Current, 2 red, 1 of any color for a sorcery. It has Jumpstart, obviously, and most instances are going to. Deals 2 damage to any target. That is basically the better version of that Sonic Cage, was it? Or no, Sonic Assault. Sonic Assault is solid, but this is better because it just does 2 damage to anything on the field, and you're not restricted to being in 2 colors. You can just play this in a monocolored deck. And it still has Jumpstart. So honestly, yeah, this is just the better version of Sonic Assault. And Sonic Assault is a solid, fine card. It's an okay card, but this is just a better version of that. I find that interesting too. They didn't even wait for another set to print a better version of something. They just printed the better version in the set. Radical Idea, 1 blue, 1 of any color. For an instant, draw a card. That's good. I mean, it's a trade-off. But because it's got Jumpstart, you can do that again and then get your other Jumpstart cards in the grave. So it's fine. It's a good card. The one thing I've always wondered, the one thing that's always kind of not irked me, but I look at it and I'm like, is it really worth it? Is the cards that just draw you a card. Now, maybe they have an extra ability like Jumpstart, but really it's still, I'm going to draw a card and still discard a card from my hand. So really, I'm just replacing the card in my hand. So why didn't I just maybe use a different card? That's why if I use cards that have draw, usually I have a Preordained in my deck, which has draw, scry 2 and then draw, which does at least set up the draw. Or something that just draws me more than one card. Maybe it has a downside, but it draws me more than one card. Healer's Hawk, which does not have artwork at the moment. It probably, let me see if I can, if it maybe does have artwork. No, it doesn't have artwork yet, but I think this is probably a Selesnya card. It's a 1/1 lifelink flying bird that costs 1 mana. Well, it costs 1 white. which honestly makes this card fairly okay. Because here's the thing. I don't mind a 1/1 flyer for 1 because it's got flying. At least it's got evasion. But I understand a lot of people don't like that. So they don't, particularly a 1/1 vanilla 1/1 for 1. Yeah, you get it out on turn 1, but it does absolutely nothing. At least a flyer can fly and has evasion. This has evasion add on with a little bit of lifelink. So that immediately ranks it up a bit higher now. I can say I like that. I don't mind that at all. That's a pretty okay card. Blade Instructor is the last card for today. I'm certain we'll probably get like 3 other cards or something like that later today, and I'll talk about them tomorrow. Blade Instructor is 1 white, 2 of any color for a human soldier, 3/1 with Mentor. That's a standard bread and butter Mentor card. Now again, compile them with say like Barging Sergeant, Hammer Dropper. What were some of the other ones that got spoiled? Boros Challenger. That Goblin, actually, the Goblin was not going to be very effective in this guy's case, but Legion Boy, basically combine them with other Mentor cards, and you could wind up with a pretty powerful little army. Because that, I think, is really what the Mentor was about when they designed it for Boros. It's not about the individual. It's not even about the two is mentoring the apprentice and making him stronger. It's kind of about the Legion bolstering itself up. So, in that regard, if you can make a solid Mentor deck, then you might have something going there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the official previews start and more cards get revealed. Right now, if I were to say which, honestly, like just from a mechanic and the cards I've seen so far, I love Izzet, and that's probably still going to be the color I'll end up playing. Honestly, Black-Green's looking pretty solid. I know Carriad's going to play that. And Green-White's looking pretty good. I can't say I'm a big fan of right now. I'm not digging Mentor on a huge basis, and Surveil is just not catching my eye very much. Jumpstart, I'm iffy on at the moment. I'm going to have to see more Jumpstart cards. I'm going to have to see more just Izzet cards in general. See what Niv's new card's going to look like. So we'll see what happens there. In terms of just the packaging and stuff they showed off the Buy a Box promo of Impervious Great Worm, Boros Challenger, Firemind's Research, Necrotic Wound, Amara Soul of the Accord, got a cool play mat with the Planeswalker floating island in the sky, Ravnica. We've got some very, very nice looking lands. Though, I mean, just artwork-wise alone, they are gorgeous looking. But then they have this intricate design with they actually have the guild symbols in the actual monocot. That is not, those are sexy. Those are sexy. Now you are only going to be able to get them players can come in, play 4-pack draft, casual guild kits, and special preview adventures. Local stores will be hosting it. Yeah, basically, you'll be getting the Ravnica, the Ravnica week on November 9th. They're basically like their promotional things. But those are nice lands. They are. They also are doing something. It's not from the vault. Shit. Expeditions. Well, Expeditions. It's not like Expeditions, Invocations. It's not the Masterpiece series. What it is these are these Planeswalker cards are for special guilds, and you got to buy them through the Hasbro store, toy shop apparently. And they're nice. They're full artwork. You still get the abilities on them. I'm surprised there's no green Planeswalker here, though. I mean, you have Elspeth, Knight of Erin, Teferi Hero Dominaria, Tezzera, Agent of Bolas, Liliana Last Hope, Darraghetti, Ingenious Iconoclast, Ral, is it Viceroy, and Nicol Bolas Planeswalker, the original one. They're all great. This explains where some of that artwork came from, though, that we saw a while back with like giant mat of them. They showed off the packs. We got Verasco, who's clearly the new head of the Izzet. We have Amara's on there. Here's the thing. This is okay. That's got to be a Dimir guy, because they have an Izzet character who's clearly like I'm guessing he might be the new guild mage for them. Is it guild mage or something like that? But they have another guy and he's got lightning crackling around him. They have another guy who also has something that looked like lightning. So I'm like, they got two. Is it guy? No, he's got to be Dimir. See, I think they even showed this guy in the trailer, and the way they showed him makes me wonder if he might be another Planeswalker on the plane. I'm wondering, because we already got Ral. We know we got Vraska in this set. But I'm wondering who else we're going to have in terms of a Planeswalker. I mean, like, is the research Nibs looking into making him a Planeswalker? Who knows? And then we got, I'm pretty sure that's either Aluria or Feather. One of the two. It's got to be the Boros Guild leader in terms of the Angel in the pack. Anyway, I'm excited. And Mr. Meeseeks excited too. Yes, can do. Mr. Meeseeks, I need someone to play Magic with. Can do. Thanks, Mr. Meeseeks. I was like, woo, you beat me again. It's like, that's enough Magic. Thanks, Mr. G. All right. Yeah. I'd use a Mr. Meeseeks for a Magic Gathering. Magic the Gathering. I'd use them to play Magic the Gathering. Anyway, I digress. So that's the spoilers for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior Magic, anything I do on this channel. Put that in the comments below as well. I'll get to that at some point. Sorry, there are no actual images on the screen. I've had some people saying, I had one guy say, your thumbnail was better than the video. Sorry. Sorry you didn't enjoy the video. You can't please everyone. Or appease. I meant to say please and I said peace, and so I meant to say please. You can't please everyone. But you know, it is what it is. But thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow for What If, Who Would Win, and the next Death Battle prediction. So just stay tuned for those, and I'll see you next time.